We're live. Welcome back, guys, to another edition of In the Pocket presented by CrossBones MMA and CrossBonesMMA.com. I am your host, Nick, and today I do not have Eddie Law with me right now. He probably will be joining us rather sooner rather than later. Let's just say that he has some stuff going on with life, which we all do, but he will be joining us hopefully very, very, very soon. But like I said, I am your host, Nick, and today, welcome back to another show, guys. Andrew saying he has a dead link. I will get that to him right now for the show. But other than that, guys, we're going to be talking about UFC 189, this event that happened this past weekend. Let me actually tweet this link out right now. And boom, there we go. There goes the link. So, like I said, we're going to be talking about UFC 189. An old school fighter might be coming back. Tough finale, Invicta, a bunch of stuff. But let's just get into the main topic of the evening. UFC 189, man. It happened last Saturday in Las Vegas, Nevada. Main evented by Conor McGregor and Chad Mendes. It was supposed to be Conor McGregor, Jose Aldo. We all know that whole ordeal with the rib injury. Maybe he was hurt. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe he wasn't going to pass a drug test. Whatever the fuck it was. We had a great card on our hands, man. And let's just start off with the main event, which completely, I wouldn't say shocked me. I had Chad Mendes winning this fight. I thought his wrestling game would be too much for Conor McGregor, but I was wrong. In my opinion, actually, it was a little bit too much for Conor McGregor. He did get taken down twice, but it looked like he was just feeding for the takedown, that he didn't care if he got taken down, that he wanted to show. But you know what? That's just how it was. The fight was awesome. Conor McGregor, his stand-up game is really, really weird. It's like you have to put him in this different kind of class as fighters. He reminds me, I know I'm going to get a lot of shit for this, but he reminds me of like an Anderson Silva, but he can back it up. Like, he's that guy. He has those ranges. You don't know what to do with his long reach. You don't know what to do if he's coming in onto you, if he's staying away. You don't know what to do with Conor McGregor. His punches and his kicks come out of nowhere. They're just random as shit. And that's what you saw with him against Chad Mendes. He hit Chad Mendes a lot. He started beating the hell out of his body with body kicks and everything like that. And that's what, I don't know. Conor's a different animal, man. I really like him. I can say I jumped on the train for the Conor McGregor train. I am on the Irish train, riding it till forever. But as you all know, we have our new interim featherweight champion, Conor McGregor. I earned a lot of respect for him. After the fight, he was on his knees. He was crying. It had to be one of the best moments of his life. All that time of him saying, I'm going to be the champ. I'm going to get that gold. I'm going to get the strap. I don't care who it is, who the champion is. I'm going to beat them. I'm going to be the best. Yes, it's an interim championship, but it is still categorized, in my opinion, as a championship. So he is a champion. My hat's off to him. Great respect to that he gave to Chad, hugging him, saying that, hey, thank you for taking this fight. It was awesome. He allegedly said to Chad, thanks for taking this fight. You're a true warrior. Fuck the pussy, Jose Aldo, who didn't want to fight me. And whatever, if he said that, he said that, man. But even during the press conference, Conor McGregor was awesome. He was very genuine, thanking his team, his coaches, his family, everyone that was there. But yeah, let's see, Andrew saying he did look beatable. Chad Mendes looked beatable in my opinion. He just got hit. He kept getting hit and everything like that. And Conor McGregor looked like he could get finished. In my opinion, if you have someone punching you in the face, just laughing at you, staring at you, saying that shit ain't doing nothing, that doesn't hurt me, that demoralized you, man. That hurts you. That breaks you down as a person, as a fighter. If you're punching all you can and you're supposedly number one in the world, and the guy's like, nah, that shit ain't shit, that hurts you. And I think that played a part in Conor's win. Like, he's getting elbowed in the face on the ground. He's like, that shit ain't nothing. That hurts you as a fighter. But like I said, hats off to Conor McGregor. Great fight. He is now your interim featherweight champion. What do we do with him next? Obviously, we wait for Jose Aldo. We wait for the fight that we wanted and that we were promised. but he will be doing the new tough season with Uriah Faber of all people. It's we talked about it last week, the little confrontation with Conor McGregor and Uriah Faber in the back. Why the hell was there a cameraman there? Yeah, okay, it was embedded, but why the hell was even Uriah Faber back there near Conor McGregor in the first place? You can say that was setting up for Tough, that he maybe knew it's not official, but maybe he knew that he was going to do Tough with Faber, so he like had that little confrontation. But hey, we got Conor McGregor coaching with Faber for the next tough season. Excuse me, on Fox Sports 1. So I really don't care. I'm gonna want, like I said last night on Keyboard Warriors, I'm gonna watch the first 3 episodes. If I don't like it, I'm not gonna watch it. That's how I am with every Tough. This last Tough, I watched the first 3 episodes. And I was like, nah, it's I said it before. I think Tough is the people at the gym that just aren't the best talent. The best talent are the ones that are like, I don't want to be in the show and whatever. But you throw the people like, oh, maybe you have some potential. Let's throw you on the show. Let's get your name out there. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's see if you can do it. It's a tournament style. Let's see if you can do it and get that contract. And no, I don't think no UFC fighter that came out of the Tough House right now is relevant right now. That I believe, like, none of them are relevant. None of them are huge title contenders that came out of the recent 4 or 5 Tough seasons. Nobody. The whole Tough 21 cast or the straw weights, none of them are relevant right now. Carla Suarez was a champion. She got knocked off as champion. The only person I think in that whole Tough situation that is still relevant is Rose, but we didn't get to see her fight her second fight because her opponent had to pull out because of flu. So I kind of want to see that. So we'll see how Conor and Uriah Faber do during that Tough. But let's move on to, has to be the greatest fight in my book. It's the best fight ever that I've ever seen. It was holy shit. Robbie Lawler versus Rory McDonald was the best fight ever in UFC history, in my opinion. It showed class, 2 high-class athletes. You had Rory McDonald, who is George St. Pierre's protege. He's basically his son in the gym, versus Robbie Lawler, who's a monster. He just goes out there. He's been in the sport forever, and now you finally get to see him coming out as the elite person that he is, elite fighter that he really is. And this fight was awesome. First round, obviously, it was kind of slow, filling each other out. That's usually how first rounds go with these high-class fighters. They're just filling each other out. Robbie hit some good shots against Rory. Rory hit some good shots against Robbie. It was back and forth, but I had Robbie taking it. Second round, Robbie Lawler broke Rory McDonald's nose. It was, you can tell, it was a bridge of his nose. He comes out of his corner for the third round. You just see blood just dripping from him. He looked in pain. Third round, Robbie Lawler coming out, putting work. Rory McDonald start throwing these head kicks to Robbie Lawler and looked like he rocked him. And it looked like he got hurt. That fourth round, though, he threw that head kick straight to Robbie Lawler's head/neck, and Robbie got rocked. And I was like, God damn it, this is the moment when Robbie Lawler loses it, and we see Rory McDonald as a new welterweight championship. I was so mad. I was so mad. But I don't know. That was the moment that I did not want to see Robbie Lawler lose. I didn't want to see him lose. Hold on. Eddie's actually messaging me right now, breaking the fourth wall. He's actually messaging me right now about something random, but he's trying to get to the show. But anyway, we had Robbie Lawler get rocked. It completely shocked me. Thought it was over, but he kept telling Big John, don't you stop this. Don't you do it. I'm still alive. I'm still fighting. I'm still in this. And yeah, he was. That fifth round. Now, this was me. I was watching the UFC fight with casual fans that don't usually watch UFC with me. Like, yes, my boy Mike was there. You've seen him on the show, on my old show that we're probably going to bring back. But he's growing as a fan. But I was here with the casual fans. They're on their feet, clapping, cheering, watching that fight. It was truly a good fight. The fifth round, Robbie Lawler came out, and you can tell that he was a different animal. I said, this is the moment that Robbie Lawler is going to come out. He's going to try to take his head off. He has nothing else to lose, and he's going to go for it. And that's exactly what he did. He went for it. He completely shattered Rory McDonald's nose, and Rory just collapsed. He curled in the ball and collapsed, and Robbie Lawler won. And dude, my hat's off to both of them. They're both warriors, both monsters in the cage. and both put on a spectacular performance. Like I said, best fight ever in the UFC, ever in the welterweight division, and personally my number one favorite fight right now. The end of the fourth round, actually, they faced off. The end buzzer goes off, and yeah, that's Andrew just brought that up. The stare down at the end under the fourth was intense and brilliant. It was. Robbie Lawler looked at Rory McDonald, spit blood out of his mouth, and just looked, and they just stared at each other. And Big John just stood there like, this is too intense. This is crazy. It gave me goosebumps seeing that. He spit the blood out and he just looked. And then he walked to his corner just like, let's go. Let's go. We got another round. Let's do this. And true warriors, man. True warriors. If they didn't get a bonus, what am I saying? They for sure they got a goddamn bonus, and it was a great show performance by both fighters. And what do we do next with Rory McDonald, man? He's out for 6 months automatically. He's on suspension for 6 months due to he had a broken nose, broken foot, and then I believe fractures somewhere else. But he looked dead in that fight. And then Robbie Lawler, we don't know how big his suspension is. If you didn't see his lip cut, his lip was so badly cut. Dana White was like, don't talk, don't say anything, just shit. Just go get yourself fixed. And Robbie Lawler just has a worry he says, I'm fine. I feel great. No, sir, your lip is about to fall off and it's crazy. But like I said, great fight. Definitely in my top three. Definitely my top three favorite fights to watch. It has to be my number one. But let's move on more down the card. Dennis Bermudez versus Jeremy Stephens. Jeremy Stephens looked like he was losing the fight. In my opinion, he was. Dennis Bermudez started, his striking was a little bit there. He took Jeremy Stephens down. He had more significant strikes at the time in the first round. But the second round came out. Jeremy Stephens looked a little bit better, in my opinion. He was just trying to feel him out. Got a couple licks in, got a couple kicks in and everything like that. Dennis Bermudez tried taking him down again, everything like that. But in the third round, 4 minutes, 27 seconds left, Jeremy Stephens hits him with a flying knee. It was perfect time, flying knee. Perfect time. Dennis Bermudez came in to go take down. Jeremy Stephens just, boom, hit him with the knee. Bermudez's head snapped back. Jeremy Stephens that was it. Game over. Flying knee, and you're done. And that was not the only flying knee this whole card, but Jeremy Stephens, man, he's that fighter that's just on the cusp of breaking in there, just like getting into that, like getting his name known. And yeah, he's a veteran of the sport and everything like that, but he's never broken through like this. And I think this fight against Dennis Bermudez could have done that for him. I think he can slowly break out of that shell and slowly grow it as a contender, hopefully. But I like Dennis Bermudez, man. A lot of people say he's a boring fighter. I like him. He has good takedowns, good hands, and his cardio is very good as well, in my opinion. But Jeremy Stephens hit him with that flying knee, and it was over. Andrew chiming in again. That knee was a step back counter. Beautiful. It was beautiful. Just how he countered the takedown, and he knew it was coming. That's how you see that Jeremy Stephens is growing as a fighter. He sees Bermudez just duck down that little bit more, and he's like, all right, he's going for a takedown. I'm gonna throw it now. And he ended up hitting it and taking him out. Beautiful. Beautiful. Next fight, Gunnar Nelson versus Brandon Thatch. Brandon Thatch, man, I like Brandon Thatch. He trains with Brendan Schaub. I don't know, man. I like him as a fighter. His first fight against Ben Henderson, or his fight against Ben Henderson, he shocked me. He's too tall, dude, but his ground game isn't the best. And apparently, if you listen to the Fighter and Kid podcast with Brendan Schaub, he says that Brandon Thatch has been working on his ground game. And Gunnar Nelson is a great submission artist, man. If he takes your back, it's over. That's it. It's done. And that's what happened to Brandon Thatch. Brandon Thatch did rock Gunnar Nelson. He did hit Gunnar Nelson a lot, but once it hit the ground, man, it's a different story. Gunnar Nelson's that good on the ground that he getting that rear naked choke, submitting Brandon Thatch in 2 minutes, 5 seconds of the first round, man. What do we do with Brandon Thatch? He faced Ben Henderson. He a top contender. He faced Gunnar Nelson. I think we see him one more time on a maybe a prelims or a free Fox card or something like that, just to see if he can break out of his shell and just show what he's made of. But these last two fights that he's been in, we can't see what he's been made of. It's it sucks. But hey, Gunnar Nelson, man, what are we gonna do with him in in the division? He gets a good win against a good opponent. Maybe we give him someone so maybe he can break the top 15, maybe. But I don't know. We'll probably see him in a couple weeks or a couple months on a prelims card or a main card again. But moving on to the next, the fight that knocked off the main card, that started off the main card, Brad One Punch Pickett versus Thomas Almeida. Now, I'm gonna go back on I said it last week that Brad Pickett's gonna get his one punch and Thomas Almeida is gonna end up dropping him. I was wrong. Okay, I rarely say I was wrong, but I was dead wrong. Brad Pickett ended up rocking Thomas Almeida the first round and hurting him really, really bad. But Thomas Almeida survived, made it to the second round. And what did Thomas Almeida do? His back was against the cage. Brad Pickett started coming down for a takedown and flying knee, and ended up finishing Brandon Thatch. He was out cold. Once that knee hit, he was done. It was done. And like I said, Thomas Almeida was gonna knock him out, but it didn't come as fast as I thought. I like Thomas Almeida. I think he's gonna be a top contender in the division. I think he should get either a top 10, because I think he just broke the top 10 ranking system. But I think you give him someone higher ranked, see what he can do in that division, see if he can get a bigger name, and see if he can finish that. Mike Jarvis chiming in right now, mentioning that he trains with Brendan Schaub doesn't help his name. I know it doesn't help his name. I just personally like Brandon Thatch. I think that he can break that cusp and like be a legit fighter, not a contender yet. I don't think he'd be a contender, but I like to see him in the UFC. I think he has good striking skills. He just needs to work on that ground game some more. And yeah, you're right. Training with Brendan Schaub isn't nothing, because Brendan Schaub has been not so very good recently, but I can't put my words together right now. But no, you're right. But back to the Almeida Pickett fight. Almeida, I think he can get that big name. I think he can headline either like a Brazil card, maybe co-main a Fox Sports 1 or Fox card. He's very entertaining. I do like him. He's a good fighter. I honestly think he can be a top contender in the division. But let's move on to the prelims cards. There's only a couple fights I want to talk about on the prelims card. Matt Brown versus Tim Means. Matt Brown is the immortal one. I think he's trying to get that title shot, man. He's trying to get that either a number one contender, get a number one contender spot, or get that title shot against Robbie Lawler. And he showed it against Tim Means last week or this weekend. First round, 18 seconds, and won by submission. So I think Matt Brown's making a case for himself. I think he'll get either a top contender to get a title shot, or he'll face Lawler if Hendricks gets injured or anything like that. But I honestly think they're going to make Lawler Hendricks 3. I don't like it, but I do think Matt Brown is making a name for himself. He doesn't even need to make a name for himself. He's making a claim that he wants the belt and he wants that title shot, because I do like Matt Brown. He's a very high-class fighter. I think his fight against GSP was just his biggest flaw. He kept getting taken down. And I think that his wrestling has evolved from then. I think he can stuff more takedowns and everything like that. Even against his fight against Rory McDonald, he got taken down like crazy. But I think he's learned as a fighter, and I think he can take it. But I don't know. Even against Johnny Hendricks, when he faced Johnny Hendricks, he got taken down way too much. And that's Johnny Hendricks. He's a wrestler. But honestly, I said it on Keyboard Warriors, and I know a lot of people disagree with me. I think they should make a rematch with Hendricks versus Matt Brown, because I think Lawler is going to be out for a little while with his injuries. I think he wants to heal up and come back. I know he loves fighting, but I honestly think they should make that second fight, because yes, he lost. He lost bad against Johnny Hendricks. He's got taken down and got wrestled to death. But I think Matt Brown can beat Johnny Hendricks. I really do think that. I don't think that second fight's going to happen, but I do want to see that fight. I think it'll be a good fight. And then we had Mike Swick versus Alex Garcia. It was a split decision win. Alex Garcia is a monster, man. He's that Brazilian beast, and Mike Swick, he didn't look impressive to me at all. I like Mike Swick. I thought the Thailand training was gonna help him out with his striking and just being calm and being a better fighter, but no, it wasn't. But Alex Garcia won that one. John Howard versus wait, hold on, what's going on? In preparation. I'm not gonna bring that up yet. I'm gonna save that. But let me save that, Andrew. But let's move on. I want to say the Cody Garbrandt fight. Cody Garbrandt usually wins by knockout. He's 10-0 right now, I believe. Always wins by knockout, but he destroyed his opponent, Henry. He just totally destroyed him. But that's all I want to talk about for the UFC 189 card. Great card, one of the best main cards that we had ever had, I think, in recent history. And then we had the best fight in the world in the UFC, hands down, my favorite fight with Robbie Lawler and Johnny Hendricks. But moving on, I want to move on to the tough finale. It happened on Sunday. Main event was Jake Ellenberg versus Josh Thompson. Other honorable mentions on the card, I want to say Jorge Masvidal versus Cesar Ferreira. We had Angela Magana versus Michelle Waterson. And those are the only 3 fights that I care about. I didn't, like I said, I didn't watch the tough finale. I didn't like the season of tough. I don't think any of these fighters are going to make any statement in the UFC, but I do want to talk about the 3 fights that I did mention on the tough finale. Michelle Waterson versus Angela Magana. God damn. Michelle Waterson is a monster. Okay, you see that she had the octagon jitters at first, Magana, but she waved it off pretty quick and ended up hip tossing the crap out of Angela Magana. That I don't know. We talked about it on Keyboard Warriors. I'm not going to get into detail about it, but Angela Magana did piss herself. She pissed herself when she got taken down. I'm sure that we talked about on Keyboard Warriors that I'm sure guys do that, but yeah, it sucks to be Angela Magana right now. But Michelle Waterson is a monster. Her wrestling's still there. She still got the game. She ended up winning by rear naked choke and flattening Angela Magana out. And man, Michelle Waterson, she's going to be that contender. I know Fred Kirby got on me about jumping on bandwagons and everything like that, but I'm on this bandwagon, man. She's a great fighter. We haven't seen her against a crazy striker yet, or a super, super great wrestler. I kind of want to see her face either Rose next, because I think Rose needs the opponent, and I know she wants to get that title shot, and I think it will be a great fight, Michelle Waterson versus Thug Rose. Or I want to see if Paige Van Zandt can face Michelle Waterson. That would be an entertaining fight too. Paige has great wrestling skills too, and she has a great ground and pound. That's something that Michelle Waterson hasn't faced yet, and I kind of want to see that. But hey, we'll ever see. We'll have to see with Michelle Waterson and what's going on with that. The next fight I do want to talk about, Jorge Masvidal versus Cesar Ferreira. Masvidal is a monster, man, and he's a beast. Ended up finishing Vitor Belfort's prodigy in 37 seconds of the first round. Okay, you can say it was a late stoppage. I'm going to be on the referee side saying that he did hit him very, very hard. He was going down, and he did come to when he was going down. If Jorge would have hit him 2 more times, he would have been out again. But he did grab it, go for a single leg, but the referee did break it up. I'm with the referees on this one. It was not an early stoppage. I believe it was a perfect stoppage, and Jorge Masvidal ends up winning knockout 37 seconds into the first round. And then I'm just going to skip up to the main event. Jake Ellenberg versus Josh Thompson. Josh Thompson is a monster. Okay. Andrew chiming in saying Wonder Boy was incredible, and he really was. And I told you guys, he's 33, 32-1 in his kickboxing career. He throws kicks just because he can. He throws kicks because it comes easy to him. He threw 3 spinning hook kicks in that fight. He landed all 3 of them. The first one hit the bridge of Jake Ellenberger's nose. The second one hit his neck. The third one hit him right in the chin and dropped him. And he threw the one in his neck and then the one in his chin was back to back. Okay. If you're throwing spinning hook kicks, which are supposed to be, they're quote unquote flashy kicks. They're, if you've been in martial arts and you ever done martial arts, it's called extreme martial arts kicks. Okay. They're flashy. You take your eyes off the opponent for a split second. That's a potential bad thing if you take your eyes off your opponent, especially throwing a spinning kick and you're on one leg. I used to do it when I used to kickbox and do my competition. I like throwing spinning kicks. I like throwing jumping kicks and flying kicks. It's just fun to do, and that's what you do if you want to have fun. But he throws it just because he knows he can hit it and knock your ass out, and that's exactly what he did with Jake Ellenberger. I want to see Stephen Thompson against a top 10 opponent. I want to see him break through that because I know he can probably move up and get that title shot. I really like him in that division. I want to see more of those kicks. I want to see his groundwork. I want to see if he can defend the takedown, if he can get a submission. I want to see all of that. I think he can be that complete fighter, but if someone can stop his kicks, because that's a hard thing to do if you're stopping his kicks, man. That's really, really hard to do. But like I said, he's a monster throwing those kicks. He's a true kickboxer. And what else can you say about that? Stephen Thompson, he's a monster. But I'm going to move on to the Invicta card, which actually I don't even want to talk about the Invicta card that much. We saw Cyborg. She destroyed. That's all she does, and that's all we care about. She's not going to fight Ronda Rousey. We all know this. She's not going to make that weight class. I think they should make, before Eddie gets on here, I think they should make, before I said that, damn it, he's here. What's going on, Eddie?
What do you mean, damn it, he's here? What the fuck does that mean?
I was going to bring up that I want to see a division for Cyborg in the UFC.
No one gives a fuck about Cyborg. Why are we still talking about Cyborg? God damn it, dude. I just went through a bunch of shit I went through a bunch of shit with doctors, and you throw a Cyborg at me the second I get on here. What kind of fucking
goddamn
kind of show is this? Anyway,
I already talked about 189. I talked about Wonder Boy. Any comments on Conor McGregor?
More legit than we give him credit for. Way more legit than we give him credit for. But I still want to see him against Frankie. I want to see him against Frankie Edgar more than I want to see him against Aldo. But the Aldo fight, I mean, don't get it twisted. The fact that they have him in tough coaching, opposite Uriah Faber is going to keep him out till at least January, right? And that should be enough time. I mean, that's the idea, is to give Aldo enough time to get healthy. In fact, Aldo already came out and said he's going to start training in 2 weeks, which I don't know about you. I've had busted ribs before. It took a lot longer than 2 weeks for those shits to heal up. So now, you're kind of wondering, like, okay, what the fuck, dude? But I highly doubt we see Conor back in the cage until at least, January, February, around that time. The one thing I did want to talk about 189 is, goddamn, Rory McDonald and Robbie Lawler. Dude, how is that not the best fight you ever seen ever? That was just a hell of a fight. And I give Rory so much credit, man. Just one of those guys is just a freaking not only a beast, but just a real true warrior. Gave everything, like literally everything he had. He got that nose broken early, man, and he still went back out there. And it wasn't until he absolutely could not take the pain whatsoever anymore that he decided, oh fuck, that last one was too much. His nose was shattered. It was over. So. No, for real, I have so much more respect for Rory McDonald now. I mean, hey, Robbie Lawler, a lot of people were saying Robbie was going to lose. A lot of people were saying that Robbie's a one and done. He's not he's not a champion that could last a long time, and he showed he's got what it takes. I mean, talk about a back and forth fight to come out and be whooping on Rory. Rory lands head kicks. Robbie's hurt, like very, very clearly, very hurt. And then to have the fight go back and forth, and Rory sucking up the pain and all that, and then Robbie, getting the finish the way he did. Look, credit to both guys, man. But I have so much respect for Rory McDonald right now. It's just that dude's freaking ridiculous, man, for real. And on the Wonder Boy Thompson thing on Tough, man, dude, that guy looks scary as shit. But how funny was it that he pulled the same damn move 3 times on Jake Ellenberger? Ellenberger knew it was coming. He could do nothing to stop it. It was over. And ended his night, man. Maybe even his UFC career. You don't know yet.
Yeah, exactly. But would you say, I heard this tossed around, I didn't bring it up yet. Would you say Robbie Lawler is the baddest man on the planet right now? Like, do you think he deserves that title right now? With Cain Velasquez out and everything like that, like him being that warrior, that beast in that 5th round, just coming out, just not giving a hell, spitting the blood out, and then in the 4th round, would you give him that title?
Man, that's that's a title you don't give just anyone. That title is reserved for heavyweights, but I don't think I can't call for research for doing the baddest man on the planet. And a lot of people will say that's me being, me being, what do they call it? The fuck is it? With bitter or whatever because he beat Kane, but it's really not. But Verdun's really not. Does not seem like the baddest man on the planet. Go down to Daniel Cormier. The guy's like a freaking teddy bear. When he goes out fights, he doesn't put out the kind of aura that a Robbie Lawler does, right? So, I'd have to agree, man. I think Robbie Lawler is the baddest motherfucker on the planet right now.
Would you buy his fighter kit?
Hell no, I'm not buying any Reebok bullshit. And if I have any Reebok, I'll tell you what. And I didn't realize it until I was downloading one of the other shows to put on the SoundCloud.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of this, all the Spartan shirts that I have and the Spartan races, they say Reebok on them.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that to just, yeah. I didn't realize that to just recently. So I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And you do CrossFit, so you have to be a Reebok fan.
You know what? Now I know because everyone like I'm pretty fucking brand new to that shit, and I didn't know you call it a box. Some people fucking call it a box. I didn't know that shit. People call it a CrossFit box. I think it's hilarious. I still call it a gym, and they give me a bunch of shit for it. And then yeah, everyone's wearing Reebok gear at the CrossFit spot, so it's just weird to me. But who gives a fuck?
Yeah, and then I brought up Jorge Masvidal versus Cesar Ferreira. Early stoppage or no? Go.
I don't think so. I think Ferreira is overrated as all fuck, and I know giving him that I guess title of Vitor's what's it called, Vitor's protege, as everyone put it. I think that alone puts so much pressure on him to be great that he overdoes it. He doesn't fight right, the way he should. And I mean, he just lost to Masvidal. Before that, he got knocked out by Sam Alvey. You know what I mean? So, and I'm not taking away credit from Sam Alvey, but that's a goofy looking motherfucker for sure.
Exactly.
So now, what do you think about that thing they're talking about where he called out Matt Brown?
Yeah, no, that's not gonna. I want to see the fight, and I talked about it last night. We talked about it last night. I think I do want to see that fight, but I think Matt Brown beats him.
I think Matt Brown. I think that makes a good fight, but I think it goes like the full. I think it goes the full and it goes to the decision. But I also agree. I think Matt Brown wins.
Yeah. So who do you? I'm just gonna ask you a bunch of questions since I already talked about some topics. Who do you give Robbie Lawler next?
Oh, it's harsh. Please don't give him fucking Johnny Hendricks. Please, I don't need to see another hug fest or attempted hug fest. But other than that, it's kind of hard to figure out, right? I mean, I almost think that guy deserves the longest vacation that they're allowing. Like, give that guy a year off after that fight that he just had. I don't know, dude. That's a really good question. I can't think of anybody. Who would you give him?
I heard someone say Carlos Condit today.
You know what? That'd be a fun fight, but Robbie wins that.
Yeah, I think Robbie Lawler knocks out Carlos. I don't think that Carlos can do anything against Robbie Lawler. Not take him down, not have any groundwork, and he can't outstrike him.
What do you think? Yeah, you're not really gonna outstrike Robbie Lawler. Like I like everyone's gonna be like, oh, Khan and the elbows and all that. Yeah, the great elbows. He's got great 8-limb power, but with Muay Thai, but he's not gonna finish Robbie Lawler. I mean, if you just watch the last fight against Rory, you're gonna have to freaking pull his soul out to beat him. Just for real.
Yeah, exactly. What else? I think that's it for the questions I can come up with that we're talking. Oh yeah, Waterson, Magana.
Oh, goddamn, Waterson's so fine. She's so fine. It's not even fair. And I mean, don't fuck around. I mean, I know Andrew's watching. He knows Waterson fine as fuck. So, I mean, what'd you expect against Magana? And here's the thing. I know a lot of people hate Magana. I give her credit just for I give any fighter steps in the cage credit. I'll give you that. I always give credit and respect to a fighter that has the guts to get in there and fight. And if it's true that she fought with what did she say? A broken clavicle and a couple other injuries, and she didn't run like Aldo, like she said, I didn't pull on Aldo, whatever, then a lot of credit to her. But Michelle Waterson is a force against people like her now.
Yeah.
Will we see her against a legit 115 pounder or Thug Rose? Who else could we throw at her? Paige. You know,
See, that's
will
exactly
she?
what I said.
Yeah, will she be able to stand up against them? We don't know yet. Because remember, Michelle Watterson comes from atom weight, and she just lost to an atom weight that just lost to some Japanese chick whose name I can't remember. So, um, yeah, dude, I don't know. I'm happy for Michelle. I'm a big Michelle Watterson fan, but I need to see her against someone legit before I say she's ready. That she's ready to take on the top five in the strawweight division, even though there is only like three in that top five that are legit.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. I think that to test her, you need to give her like a Thug Rose, who's a crazy striker
Mm-hmm.
and decent on the ground. I won't say the best, but decent on the ground, or a Paige Van Zandt who has a great ground and pound, who has good takedowns and then great ground and pound. So I would like to see one of those fights. I want to see the Thug Rose one first. I think
Mm-hmm.
Paige still has some growing, but then if they throw that fight, I still want to see that. So.
Yeah, I'd love to see her
Uh,
against Paige, but I think right now it'd be way too early to get Michelle against Paige. I mean, maybe I'm giving Paige too much credit, but her last two showings were pretty fucking good. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. I think they give Watterson they'll give her like a Beck Rawlings type of freaking fighter, and they'll basically start using her to start pink slipping everybody.
Yeah, but I don't want to see them like feed her fighters like that they already know that she could probably beat.
I think they will. I mean, obviously, I hope not as well. I want to see some legit fights. I don't want to see her just get thrown, freaking marshmallows. But uh, I think they're gonna throw her at least one more,
Hmm.
and then maybe give her someone legit, maybe a Rose or just like you were saying.
Yeah, but we talk about Invicta. We saw Cyborg just be fucking Cyborg and just destroy someone in 45 seconds. We saw Tanya Evinger finally get the belt. What did you think about that fight against
I was
Aldana?
so upset, dude.
What?
I was upset. I like it in Eldanya. I'm a big fan
Oh yeah, that's
of
right.
Eldana.
Mexicans
Huge
stick to
fan
their
of, yeah.
own. I can't
From
say
my hometown, my friend. From my hometown. Okay.
yeah. But
So,
did you enjoy that fight? And then in the fourth round, and we have a new
you
bantamweight
know what?
champion.
I'll say it, man. Tanya is a really shitty matchup for a lot of people. Aldana being one of them. Aldana's never had to dig deep on the ground, really.
Hmm.
And so to get mounted the way she is, and look, Evinger is. I'm not calling her fat, but she's a big girl. She is not small. So to get pinned under and then get mounted as much as Irena did, that was just rough, man. But by the I think it went what 3 rounds almost
4 rounds. I
4 rounds.
went 4 rounds.
You
Yeah, I
know,
went 4 rounds.
by the end of that fight, man, Aldana had nothing, and you could tell, and it was
Hmm.
just, she was just hanging in there for pride at that point. So, um, you know what? No, good for Evinger. She's one of those chicks that's never been given a chance, never been a favorite, never been favored to do anything, and so the fact that she won that, look, a lot of credit to her. That's when you know hard work beats talent, big time. You know what I mean? So yeah, no, congratulations to her, and I'm really really happy for her. But I want to see what they do now because they had Sean Shelby and Joe Silva in her locker room after her fight, and of course immediately the UFC stuff starts coming out. She's gonna go to the UFC, and I'm like, God, no, please, not yet. Let her fucking enjoy her title reign for a while.
Yeah. And then the only other fight that I can think about that I enjoyed on that one was Marianne Shafir getting taken out in 37 seconds. You have Ronda Rousey's best friend. What the hell? If you're Ronda Rousey's best friend, you should at least be a quarter of her. But what do you think?
Real quick, just announced Ronda Rousey wins the Best Fighter SP.
Oh, what did she win?
She won the SP for Best Fighter.
She was up against who? Her, Cowboy,
It doesn't say
Mayweather.
Best MMA Fighter. If Mayweather's in
No,
there, fucking
Mayweather was on. I
Mayweather.
believe Mayweather was on there.
Ha! Mayweather lost to Ronda Rousey.
I
Yeah,
believe
MMA still small 10 bitches. Nah.
no. Ronda Rousey's a big timer, man. She's no. Ronda Rousey takes all.
I still don't get people that say she's not attractive. She's fine as fuck. Sure, she looks a little bulky right now, but that'll come down once she's out of camp and everything. She'll be back to normal. But
Yeah. No, actually,
but
little side note: when I serve at a restaurant. I'll break the fourth wall. I serve at a restaurant. One of my tables was talking about Ronda Rousey and how she looks scary and she just doesn't look like a chick. And they're referencing her Fast and Furious when she's in the dress and she's just jacked. I would say I agree, but she's still hot.
I would bang that jacked ass bitch from the fucking movie. I don't give a shit. I would be all over that. And this is not to speak ill or disgusting or filthy of Ronda Rousey, but goddamn, all right. What is it, Wednesday or your WCW or whatever? That's me. That's mine right there.
If Eddie does not post a WCW Ronda Rousey now, like today, blows Twitter up because he's a liar.
By the
But
way,
go for it.
first fight going down right now
On Fight Pass.
oh yeah, on Fight Pass. But oh wow, there's a video of Ronda Rousey taunting Floyd Mayweather. That's kind of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, so the SPs are in like about in like I think in like 4 hours. So yeah. So if you guys want to go see her talk shit on Mayweather, watch that.
So moving on to probably tonight's card, which why do we have a card on Wednesday? It's weird. If you don't know we have a card on Wednesday, we have a card tonight, and it's actually started right now. It's headline Frank Mir versus Todd Duffy. We have Josh Thompson versus Tony Ferguson, Holly Holm versus what's her name? Reneau?
Marion
Reneau. And then are you gonna watch? Of course you're gonna watch it. Are you excited for it?
Mm-hmm. No, not at all. Honestly, I don't care about it. Overall, the card is sneaky good.
Yeah,
it's sneaky good. It's one of those that everyone should talk. It's like it's weak as fuck or whatever, and then out of nowhere, it just boom, fucking explodes. I mean, right now, at this second, right now, and apparently Lyman Good is doing fucking work on Andrew Craig because he has dropped almost double the strikes that Craig has. But it's Andrew Craig and it's Lyman Good, and after that, you get Kevin Casey returning from I think it was like a 9-month suspension.
Yeah,
just a huge suspension for PEDs. Taking on Ildemar Kantara, who's not an easy out for anybody. That should be a pretty decent fight as long as Kevin Casey's been trying to make a wrestle fuck. He might take it to the ground. I like jiu-jitsu, but I don't like this linear prayer. It just sucks.
Yeah.
And then you got Igor Adauhu against Sean Strickland. That should be pretty decent. Ronnie Yaya against Masanori Kanehara. Those dudes were like staring each other down. No, that's a different fighter. Never mind. But that one's decent. This one should be an ass whooping. Jessica Andrade against Sarah Moras. Sarah Moras has never been impressive in the least. I think Jessica's gonna fuck her up. So that should at least be fun to watch. Sam Cecilia against Yatsen Meza. I like these two dudes, but they're not gonna do much in the featherweight division. Alan Joe Bond, I'm a big fan of now. I really like that dude for some reason. That dude just has balls, man. He's a model. He doesn't give a fuck. He's still getting in there and fight. Matt Dwyer has like he has like 4 inches of height on him and a little bit of reach. So that's going to be a challenge for old Brahma. We'll find out. Kevin Lee and James Muntasri had a mean ass stare down. It was funny as shit. Kevin Lee was talking mad shit. Muntasri tried to be respectful, and Kevin Lee wasn't having any of it. Scott Jorgensen is a guy I like. Manny Gamborian I like even more. So I'm hoping that's a good fight. And then here's the girl that we have a lot of questions of. The girl is supposed to come in and scare the fuck out of Rousey, and she had her first fight, underwhelmed everybody, and now pretty much everyone forgot about her. And I'm talking about Holly Holm taking on Marion Reneau. Marion Reneau is not a chick that's going to be afraid of anybody. Nope. So this is actually, I'm going to call this Holmes' first test. Holmes' boxing and kickboxing are not going to scare Marion. Reneau is going to be interface. I think she's going to be interface the whole time. If this fight goes to the ground, I favor Marion, but obviously the favorite's going to be Holly Holm. So if Holly Holm wins, just keep giving her 135ers. She could build herself all the way up to a title shot. Maybe that's the shit that we're talking. The Josh Thompson Tony Ferguson fight, I think is primed for a fight of the night. Mm-hmm. Josh Thompson's the guy that I like. Josh Thompson, a lot of people don't, but Josh Thompson's the guy. He kind of he likes to fight. He brings it. And Tony Ferguson is a bad motherfucker on the ground and on the feet. He's just scary everywhere. This dude is someone that should be for what he's done. Should be higher up in the rankings, I think, for 155ers. But obviously that division is kind of stacked right now. And the main event, Frank Mir against Todd Duffy. Frank Mir coming in 262 pounds, is about 22 pounds more than he usually does. But somebody pointed out on Twitter, and I hate to fucking forget names because I would have given him credit. It's someone a lot of people will not. It's not from Brian, but somebody else. But he comes in 262. He's been in the 260s for most of his wins, his recent wins. So I don't know, man. We'll see. But you continue. I'll call you right back. All right.
All
I
right.
gotta answer a phone call.
Yeah. But there we go. So yeah, we have a card tonight. It's actually started right now. The main event, I kind of see. I don't know, man. I kind of hope. I have hope for Frank Mir, but I think Todd Duffy's going to just completely stuff him. He's just going to drop Frank Mir. Unless Frank Mir's striking is legit. He showed in his last fight that he improved on his striking a lot, and maybe we'll see that. The Josh Thompson fight, I think Josh Thompson's going to take that one. I do like Josh Thompson, but Tony Ferguson, like Eddie said, is a scary dude. Holly Holm, I kind of think that she's going to get destroyed in this fight, personally, but we're going to stop seeing anything for Holly Holm for a little while until she grows as a fighter. But oh, wait, you're back? That was quick.
Yeah. I just had to answer a phone call and answer literally one question, so we're good.
But let's move on to, I guess it's one of our final topics today. Fedor Emelianenko wants to make a return. Hope maybe not into the UFC. What do you think?
About what? Sorry.
Ronda.
Hang on. You know what? Give me 1 second. Ronda. Someone just sent me the video of Ronda Rousey. Hang on.
Okay.
I wonder how Floyd feels being beat by a woman for once. Well, I just pretend to not know who I am now.
Oh shit! So Ronda Rousey says, "Did you hear it?"
Yeah, I did.
So, Ronda Rousey said, gets on camera. She had her SP. She goes. I wonder how Floyd feels getting beaten by a woman for once, but he knows who I am now. Like, woo! Well, hey, Floyd, stop hitting women.
How much would you pay to see Ronda Rousey versus Mayweather? It's not going to happen, but how much would you pay?
To preface it by saying that'll never happen because no one will allow that. But man, if they actually allowed that shit, Floyd's arm would be gone in seconds. That shit wouldn't even make it 16 seconds. It'd be fucking over. But sorry, what was your question before I fucking clicked on that thing?
Fedor Emelianenko coming back to MMA. You say
and Andrew. Go ahead.
No, go for it.
So Andrew Reid had, he was. Andrew Reid had a lot to say about that. By the way, he was upset that some of us put him down. It's just there's too many questions with Fedor. Everyone thinks he's gonna come back in the same form that he, before he left, and I just don't believe that's the case. I think age and time away from the game, MMA is a very, very and real quick, we'll give you results. Lyman Good defeats Andrew Craig via TKO, punches round 2, the 3:37 mark. So that's your first fight of tonight. Good over Craig by TKO. Fedor, it's weird to think that Fedor is back. It's one of those things that you just haven't, no one's processed yet. There's nobody has processed that yet because it's such a dream, right? Whenever we're talking about, current MMA fighters, it's like, oh, how would he do against Fedor? How would he do against Fedor? Whatever. How did Kane would do, against Fedor? How would DC do against Fedor? They call DC the Black Fedor. So it's I don't know. I'm hoping for good things. I'll tell you that. I'm hoping for good things, but my expectations are very, very low on Mr. Emelianenko. But I am super, super hoping that he does something. That being said, it depends on where he goes. If he goes to the UFC, you got plenty of people to give him a legit challenge. Should he come back at even 75% of what he used to be? If he goes to Bellator, they're just gonna be feeding him guys because there's nobody on that roster that could beat Fedor. I guarantee even now. Andrew Reid already chiming in on Twitter. Fedor trains harder every day than most top MMA fighters, and that's probably true. I completely agree with that, But again, he's still 38 years old. And he's still been gone for like 3 or 4 years. So, too many questions for me to think to even like say like, oh, this is gonna be awesome or anything. But for at least the bunch of us that go, oh, I want to see him against Fedor. I want to see him against Fedor. If he goes to the UFC, that'd be awesome. You get to see some of the dream matches or fights. If he goes to Bellator, I just hope he beats the shit out of Tito.
Yeah, no, we were talking about it last night that if Fedor comes into the UFC, will he be heavyweight or light heavyweight? What do you think?
He's short as shit for heavyweight. He's kind of small for heavyweight, but I don't think he wants to cut weight. I think he'll go heavyweight. Man, that's hard to say, man.
And then you give him Matt Mitrione or Derek Lewis real quick. Get an easy win, something simple.
Yeah, I think they should just give him a gimme for the first fight, get him some wins. But and if you want to see the Ronda Rousey video, I just retweeted it. All right, she's got that attitude, and she looks good in that dress, whatever that is. Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, but yeah, Fedor returning. You know, it'd be awesome. If he goes to the UFC and starts the Fedor Revenge Tour. I mean, it's only like 2 people long, but still, you know, give him Bigfoot first, and then you know, maybe Verdum loses his title, ends up fighting Fedor. I would love to see that shit.
Yeah. No, I would love
So what do you
to
think
see
about
that
it?
too. I don't know. As an MMA fan, I would like to see him back, but I think I don't want his legacy to be destroyed. Like if he comes back and he gets completely destroyed by all the fighters, it was a man out of his time or whatever. Yeah, well, he came in, he wanted this, and he got dropped. And I think it would hurt his legacy, just like with like Anderson Silva hurt his legacy. Ken Shamrock coming back all the time hurt his legacy, even though Ken Shamrock didn't actually win a lot of the big fights that he was in. But like, I don't know. I just don't want. It's like another thing. Like with Anderson Silva, I don't want him to compete anymore. I'm just done. Like, just don't hurt your legacy any more than it already has with your freaking steroid problem, positive, negative, whatever the hell it is. I don't want to see fighters hurt their legacy. BJ Penn came back. I think it kind of hurt his legacy a little bit, but I don't want to see Fedor do that either.
So check us out. Adam Martin on Twitter tweeted out about half an hour ago, and this is at MMA DAM Martin. So he kind of puts that first A of that A of MMA as the first letter in Adam, so you can figure it out how to find him on there. So Scott Coker says he hasn't talked to Fedor about his comeback yet, which is bullshit. But Randy Couture says it's a fight that still interests him. Please, Randy, for the love of God, don't fucking come back. Stop. Just fucking stop. Don't do it.
Okay.
God damn it. Don't do it. Anyway, that was my piece on that.
Kind of want to see it now.
I don't want to see it at
now
all.
Now you said that, I kind of want to see it, but you know he won't be in the UFC. You know that'll be.
They'll bring out fucking.
No.
They'll bring out Couture in a freaking wheelchair with his fucking service dog and shit and a cane, all fucked up. Like, I'm ready to fight now. No, dude.
That's what we said last time he came in, all old and shit, and look what he did against Tim Sylvia.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tim Sylvia. Andrew Toney. Come on. Who are we talking about here? God. I love Randy. Randy's the shit. But
fine.
He's
Chuck
not
Liddell
gonna...
comes back in the heavyweight division and just knocks out Fedor.
God, no. No. Why are you trying to get Chuck killed, motherfucker? Fedor would knock the shit out of Chuck Liddell. You know what? No. My nephew would knock the shit out of Chuck Liddell. Chuck Liddell's chin is so fucked up now from so many times he's been knocked out. That he probably, if you walked around Miami during a hurricane, you'd knock him out. So how about this fight? Andrew Reed wants this fight. Fedor versus Crow Cop.
No, I want to see it, but I think they're both. Well, no, I can't say Crow Cop's done because we've seen what he did his last fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck it. Why not? Let's just do it. Let's do it overseas. Make a lot of money.
I prefer. I prefer Crow Cop versus Fedor to Fedor against Randy because that's just not even fair. There's no way Fedor doesn't just mess him up.
Yeah. Yeah, true. But
oh Jesus Christ!
What?
Sorry, there's a picture. Oh God damn it! This is okay. Look, I'm not shitting on women here. I'm not. But this is how dumb women are in Vegas. Okay, there's a dude walking around that dressed up kind of like Conor McGregor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he went around Vegas tricking everybody, a bunch of MMA fans, aka a bunch of women that want to be around flashy dude with a bunch of money and a belt. So tricks on you bitches. But sorry.
But other than that, do you have any other topics you want to talk about?
Were we gonna do a top 5? I don't remember.
Did you have a top 5? I don't know if you had one.
I don't know. Did we? I think we were talking about greatest fights.
Yeah, it's coming off the cusp of the greatest fight that I've ever seen. Which probably.
You have a list?
Yeah, I have a list.
All right, you go first.
All right. Number 5 has to be, shit. I had it in my brain. Maybe I don't have it. No, I do. Bigfoot versus. Why can't I
Mark
think of
Hunt.
the name? Mark Hunt won. The one that Bigfoot
Only
tested
one.
positive and a no contest. I want to see that fight again. That was a great fight. I don't care what anyone says.
I would have let that fucking piss test go. I'm like, that fight was too good. Just ignore that one.
Look, they already had
Um,
they had Root to Fight make T-shirts for the second one already, and then 2 days later, oh shit.
Yeah, you just knew it. So, I'm gonna go for my number 5, Diego Sanchez against Gilbert Melendez at UFC 166. Just a fucking brawl. These two good dudes did not give a shit. They were just about just throwing as many hands as they could, and they put on a show. It was like 160. In fact, I thought, excuse me, I thought Melendez was fucking Diego up, and then Diego comes back and hurts Sanchez, hurts Melendez real bad for a second. So. Yeah, definitely great fight, I think. And that's my number 5.
Yeah, my number 4 is going to be Diego Sanchez versus Clay Guida. That fight, so all kinds of stupid. That's all I have to say. Like you have Clay Guida, who's a cardio machine. You have Diego Sanchez, who has no fucks. He just does not care anymore about his career. He just wants to go out there and bang, and that's exactly what got out of that fight. So that will be my number 4.
Yeah. My number 4, Brock Lesnar against Shane Carwin at UFC 116. Shane Carwin burned himself out, and it was so bad because he was smashing the shit out of Lesnar's face, and Lesnar was just smiling at him, and you're just looking at like, what the fuck? Lesnar's just smiling. That's some sadistic shit. So, yeah, it sucked to see Carwin, gas out in the first round, and then have Lesnar, end up, whooping him in the second round and winning. But definitely that's one of my favorite fights for sure of all time.
Yeah. All right, my number 3 is going to be Robbie Lawler versus Johnny Hendricks 2. Just because it was such a close fight that I really enjoyed it. You have Johnny Hendricks trying to take him down, trying to stand with Robbie Lawler picking him apart on the feet, and that 5th round was super close. Robbie Lawler learned from the first fight that let me not get taken down in the 5th round. Let me just stand up and do what I know best and try to win this belt, and he did. So that's going to be my number 3.
Yeah, 3.
Yep.
All right, my number 3, Dan Henderson against Shogun Rua, UFC 139. If anyone's even seen that fight, knows that fight was a motherfucker. For Shogun Rua to get beat down for the first round and then fucking come back in the next 2 rounds. The fight, although the fight should have been more than likely should have been a draw because it was that close. I think Hendo ended up winning. Yeah, Hendo ended up winning the decision on that one, but it was a hell of a fight, man.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one. But my number 2 is going to be John Jones, Alexander Gustafsson. I want to see it again, really bad. That will be my number 2. Gus won that fight. I don't care what anyone says. Gus won that fight. Fuck John Jones. God damn it, Gus. We had a new champion that night, and the judges fucked it up.
I'm with you, man. My number 2 is also John Jones against Gustafsson, and that's gonna make Andrew Reed real happy. He loves that guy. So, yeah, dude, I fucking had it entirely scored for it was what's it called, unanimous. I had it unanimous for him. So, it sucked to see Jones win because I thought for sure Gustafsson had it. I think Jones thought Gustafsson had won that, and to have the judges give it off to Jones. That's the thing, especially. You don't go to you try to never go to the judges, but you don't do it 1 in Brazil and 2 against champions. Because if there's even a doubt of how close it is, more than likely, it's it's going to go to either the champion or the Brazilian, who depending on where you are.
Exactly, and my number 1, I don't know if I'm speaking for you, but I'm going to say Robbie Lawler, Rory McDonald. It's these. I have it recorded on my TV. I already watched it 3 times, and I still get super excited watching that damn fight. And it happened last weekend. It's like I would watch it right now after the show and still like get out of my seat, find something to cheer about, to fucking go off. I just absolutely love that fight. It shows what mixed martial arts and martial arts is.
Oh, this dude clicked end on the call. All right, well, you got me still. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure this dude comes back. But what he was saying, I agree as well. And he did, he was kind of speaking for me there. I do agree as well that it is going to be Robbie Lawler against Rory McDonald. The heart, the sheer lack of fucks given was awesome, And so let me make sure on good old Pilecki here. But that's the thing about doing live shows, ladies and gentlemen. Shit happens. So, but yeah, Robbie Lawler against Rory McDonald, also my number one fight of all time. I said it literally seconds after the fight ended. Oh, his computer just shut off. That's what you gotta love. His computer shut off. Anyway, so yeah, for sure, Robbie Lawler against Rory McDonald. Everything you want in an MMA fight, for sure. So, okay, well, we'll wait for Mr. Pilecki to come back. And by the way, if any of you have questions on Twitter, send them over at Elaw31 or at CrossBonesMMA, and I'll get them right to my little computer here. I'm actually on my phone mostly because I spend most of the day at doctors. I went to I've had for anyone that's watching the shows, I've been really messed up lately. I had surgery not too long ago, and the one thing that you can that's like a real danger is you get pneumonia. So guess what? More than likely. Oh shit! Here we go, Nick.
Yeah, are we still live or what?
Yeah, I think we're still live. I've just been telling people about my pneumonia and how something's wrong with me, like a motherfucker. So I'm all kinds of broken, people, but it hasn't ended me yet. So I made the show a little late, but I made it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I was just telling them my pick is also Rory as Robbie. But you didn't finish what you were saying.
Yeah, no, just greatest fight ever. Just my computer went to sleep for some damn reason.
Goddamn Apple.
Yeah, but other than that, do you have anything else that you want to bring up or anything?
No, but Ronda Rousey does look real good right now in her dress, I think. But no, I'm about to as soon as this Kevin Casey fight is over, because more than likely I don't know. I'm gonna jump on Fight Pass and try to watch the rest of the Kevin Casey fight. Other than that, I'm gonna be kicking back watching FS1 and just shooting the shit with everybody on Twitter. So if you guys want to talk fights, you can follow me at Elaw31 and we'll go back and forth.
Yep, and same to me. If you want to follow me at NickXMicro, I'll be watching the fights all night. I have the night off, so I'll be hanging out. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. See you guys later.